Welcome back, everybody. I'm here with JP, and we're doing our Star Wars CCG graded update for the month of August. Forgive my voice. I'm getting over a cold, so I might sound a little raspy here. But JP, welcome back. We're going to keep this kind of brief today, just kind of highlighting things going on in the group, any other news in the graded world. What comes to mind right away, you know, for when you're thinking back in July, the contest, and now we're going into August?
Yeah, I'm just surprised at how quick the year's moving. More and more people are joining. And, you know, before I used to kind of measure it by how many months before I saw 5 or 10 people joining, but we're averaging about 10 or 15 a month now. So it's pretty steady growth. So we're still keeping it a nice ecosystem where people are still, you know, taking care of each other, and it's a friendly place, and we're still growing. So that's the goal, is to keep it growing. So it's looking good.
There is one thing, though, top of mind for me that I've noticed, and it's been creeping up, right? But I feel like it's just one of those like aha moments that have kind of, or like a next stage here in the Star Wars CCG graded world, in that we're seeing that like graded 8s are, you know, more valuable than raw, whereas before it was almost shunned upon. Now we're seeing 8s are like they're still actually pretty good, because there's so many. We're seeing now so many cars that get graded, and even fresh out of the pack, 6, 7. You know, like you would think somebody wrecked it somehow, but having an 8 is now like not as rough of a thing. And you know, just a perfect example. Literally just yesterday, I sold one of my extra Rebel leader, like red leader in Red 1 PSA 8. It sold for almost $57. I mean, that blew my mind, you know. But I'm also thinking, okay, well, the PSA 10s, when they're up on eBay, those things go quick, and they're not going cheap. They're just harder and harder to find, even in common and uncommon. Certainly the 9s are always a hot commodity. At this point, I think you could post a 9 of just about anything, and it's definitely going to sell. So I feel like there's definitely been, you know, like, oh, wait, these 8s are not, you know, not bad, and 9s and 10s, I think I want, you know, getting a little more competitive with that. What have you seen with that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I agree with you, because more and more people are understanding how Star Wars CCG cards are. Just because you got a box or a pack or whatever, and you're opening up and they look perfect, everyone is starting to understand that they're not going to be perfect coming out of the pack. So they're going to live with the PSA 8s and go, well, that's actually pretty good. I mean, near mint's pretty good. 9s are now kind of what what everyone's really shooting for and finding. I mean, if you can get a 9 in it, that's mint. And people know now the Gem 10s, they're almost impossible to get. They're super hard. I know, like Manu PL, that guy, he's got stacks and stacks of some of the best high-end cards in Gem Mint 10. But I think everyone's becoming a veteran now, and everyone's understanding that, man, 8s are not bad for Star Wars CCG.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, even I get humbled a little bit on some of the returns that I think are stronger than they should be. Now, granted, there could be some subjectivity with, you know, graders like PSA. I don't see the subgrades like we do with BGS and HGA. I've always thought that HGA can be kind of tough, but I felt they're fair when I've got them back. PSA, I mean, you could get back a 3 and, like, you know, a 6 and not really know why. But I, you know, having now submitted hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cards for myself and for other people, you know, is it the day? Is it luck of the draw? Or is it some people are better at citing these? And like you said, Manu PL, I mean, power to him, man. I don't know where he's found all these perfect 10s. I'm convinced he must have all these sheets and is perfectly cutting it himself with like diamond cutting technology, AI thing. But yeah, if I had all those 10s, I'm not even sure I'd be selling them left and right. I think I'd be keeping them, to be perfectly honest. I think that's going to be harder and harder to come across as we get through, like, you know, it's only been what, like a couple of years now?
I mean, it's just been it's short period, and if you're like me, I'm always out looking at the population reports, seeing what news coming out graded, or, you know, finding like a whole series, like a whole, you know, expansion where not one of them's been graded 10 yet. And so there's a few collectors that are in our group there they're masters at inspection, sending them in, or they're just not showing us the other 1,000 that are coming back a 9. They're
Right.
getting like 50 10s, and you think to yourself, and this guy's got the inspection figured out. But I'm super careful of what I'm sending in. I don't keep sending in the same stuff over and over. And I just got back like the Jedi pack and first anthology and second anthology. And when the registry comes open for that, you guys can compete against that. But that's maybe the last I'm going to send in for that. I'm on to the next expansion. But someone came back 10s. I'm never going to get rid of those. The 10s? Are you kidding? Forget it.
Yeah. No, so hitting on that PSA like registry sets, I've seen zero news since July 16th of any updates on that. I don't know what PSA is waiting for. It's been almost a month. Like, there's a massive backlog of people that have submitted registry sets. And frankly, I don't know. Like, we're just waiting to see when these come in, because I have a stack of cards from all different kinds of sets. And now my strategy, I don't even know if I have a strategy, to be honest. I just find some card. I'm like, yeah, it's in good shape, whether it's common, uncommon, or rare, or promo, or whatever. I'm like, I'm going to send it in. That's kind of like where I'm at, just going through them. And especially with the Japanese stuff, since I have so many of them, I'm like, I might as well start grading these. And even if I don't finish the set or whatever, I'm sure somebody else will want to. But yeah, I don't know what PSA is dragging their feet for.
Yep. So I had a gentleman reach out to me. He's in our group. He's actually got 3 10s of the tournament foils that I don't have. I've got like an 8 and 2 9s. And he says he's willing to pull his set out of the registry, scrap what he's trying to build because they're so hard to get, and trade them to me so that he can see the best set even get better. So there's an allegiance to seeing these sets get better and better. And so I'm really, proud of some of the members that they understand how important the registry is and how to collect and keep collections going instead of just flipping to sell and watch it go into the wild. Because I do believe there's going to be a big wave of investors that are going to eventually start seeing this, and they're just going to clean everyone's clock every time it comes on eBay. They're just going to want to buy everything, get their hands on, and we're never going to be able to keep track of everything. So
right.
That's what I think the future is going to be. So
yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I wouldn't say that hasn't crossed my mind, because I have stacks of graded cards, from some of the reflection sets, but I'm torn between, do I go through, I'm probably not going to go through all of them, but I'm like, if somebody else is close, or I have some high grades of ones that are hardest. I mean, these foils are really a pain to grade, right? Like, even from just looking at them and eye appeal, getting the magnifying glass, they're just a pain to go through raw, and like, you really don't know what you're going to get. It really could be 6 to 10. I mean, the scratch surface is awful on these reflections foils. I don't know if I have the patience to go through all of them. I can only imagine, because I'm not ripping these packs, right? I don't have fresh ones. And if I've bought bulk packs of them, they're not going to be up to par, from a grading standpoint. Yet everybody else is looking at that kind of stuff too. So, I mean, do I just kind of cut it and give it to somebody else, like you said, to give them an even better set and maybe just promote the hobby as a whole? Because you do see like those top graded, those award worthy sets in PSA. I mean, how crazy would that be to have a Star Wars CCG like award set, up there? It'd be like out of left field. It'd be like, whoa, what is this? I mean, right? I mean, wouldn't that be attracting a lot of different news or attention to that set?
Well, we're going to get there. There's going to be people that, they're going to want to know what the next thing is. So I've said that before. Once you've collected everything, and it was great the last interview you did, that there's still somebody that's putting the sets together. He's got the black border Premier and white border Premier. He's 1 card shy of doing the Cloud City. And that was that was a wonderful moment, that there's still people that are still needing to put their master sets together, or they just want to go so far. They want to get through Jabba's Palace or get through Special Edition, whatever it is. But it's nice to see that there are still people that are striving to get those collections together. So everyone's at different points in their hobby. And there's going to be somebody that's at that point where they're like, I'm going to strive to have the best Death Star 2 set, and it's going to be perfect. All of them are Gem 10s or nothing. So
yeah, I mean, it seems intimidating, right? Like to be like, oh, an entire master set English, $15,000, you know, if you wanted to buy it. But the fun for me was always hunting for those random singles, and, you know, just to complete a set personally, like, near mint was close enough for me. I didn't need mint of everything. And power to those who do. I'm not disrupting that. I mean, that's fantastic. I was just happy to have a complete set of all of them and hunting through. But yeah, in this day and age, it can feel kind of intimidating. But hey, these sets don't need to be built overnight. I mean, I started my sets 20 years ago. So, like, you know, I only completed the set like a few years ago. So it's not... Actually, no, like a couple of years ago, I finally got Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight. That was like the missing card I had. I just hadn't bought it for some reason. So I wouldn't lose sleep over anybody who's getting back into it and been like, oh, it's, you know, everyone's so far ahead. Like, these cards are out there. They're still plentiful. And if you don't care about having, you know, all 10 graded of every single card ever, then there's plenty of people willing to trade and help you get
absolutely.
Where you go. So let's finish off here. They have this month for August weapons as a reminder, and then we have I think we have Imperial starships, right, on September. Let me see, where did I put my... Yeah, oh no, I'm sorry. Episode 1 themed is September. Imperial spaceships is October. November is Cloud City themed, and December is Hoth, for those who are paying attention to the competition. So I hope people are collecting, buying, submitting cards for those themes so they can participate in the upcoming competition. So I'd like to think we're giving enough advance in that. Weapons, I'm not sure. I realize now, like, maybe that's not the most popular card to get graded, but I think we'll still get a decent show up.
I think so. And I've competed in all of the competitions so far. It's been really fun. This is the first one. It's been difficult for me to choose what I'm going to submit. I literally have between 6 and 8 that are perfect for this category, and I've been debating which ones put out. So it's going to take me a little while to make the decision, but you're going to be pleasantly surprised at the weapons I've got graded. Okay.
I want to see more people in the lowball category. I mean, Guzik and myself are the only ones who participated in that. But I know people have terrible grades, so stop tracking them when they come back terrible. Let's save them for the lowballers.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird. Like, I have some really low grade ones, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I kind of like that this is a weird low grade. Like, I don't know. I'm fine with like the 7, 8. Okay, if I have a 9, great. But if I have like a 5, 4, 3, or 2 or something, I'm like, that's so low. I'm like, it's so interesting. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it until we started talking about doing these competitions. And then I've heard somebody too, they wanted to have a graded 2 Tanika sisters. And to me, I'm just dying to send in different varieties, like 10 of them, and then at different damages, just so I can make myself get a 2. But the worst grade I ever got was a 6, and it was a C3PO. And it's buried amongst all the other stuff. It's not that I'm ashamed of it or anything.
You have a shame bucket of like,
I used to be mad at getting 8s and 8.5s from BGS because I'm putting whole sets together. And, you send in the whole set and maybe, this sounds crazy, but about 4 or 5 of each one, and you get 9s and 9.5s except for about 10 cards. They're 8.5s, so it kind of makes you mad that now I got to go back and look for proton torpedoes. I've got to find that timer mine. And then I had trouble with the land speeder for a while. And so I had to send those in again, additional. But it's like, that's really kind of the worst thing I got mad at, was getting 8s and 8.5s. Because I wasn't just sending it in willy-nilly. I was inspecting them. I was trying to get the best. But I got that C3PO back, and it was a 6. And I'm like, man, where did I really go wrong there? And to this day, not only is it a bad grade, but it's the only one I got a label. It fell out of the BGS top portion, and it came inside to where C3PO is. So it's like it was terrible all around. I'll scan it in. I'll dig it out and I'll scan it in and show you. I don't know how the label fell out, but it's ridiculous.
So it's all around just a terrible.
Yeah, I love it. It's just a train wreck or a dumpster fire. It's awesome.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for catching up with me. We will catch up again in September. Again, weapons are the theme this month. If you haven't put together your combination of 2 cards to submit for it, go ahead and add that into the group right now, and we'll check you on the next video. Thank you all.
All right. Thanks, Kyle.